Hey YouTube, today we are going to make a game clock by itself. It doesn't do too much. By making this, we can look at how to add blocks to the game world and how to display text on the block. You can play this by going to Roblox and search for LJ software, then viewing my profile. You can also download all game files to open in Roblox Studio by going to ljsoftware.uk and navigating to Roblox Bitesize, creating a game clock. We will create a script that will count the seconds and minutes. Scripts are bits of code that tells Roblox how to do certain things. First, we need to add a block. To do this, click on the Parts menu and select Block. Now we need to resize the block so we know what the block is. We will rename it to clock. Now we need to add a SurfaceGUI to the block so we can display text. To do this, click on the plus sign and search Surface, then click on SurfaceGUI. Now we need to add a text label to the SurfaceGUI in the same way. Now we have a text label. Let's rename it to LBL clock. Let's resize and move it to where it needs to be using the properties window. Now it's resized. We want to get rid of labels background by setting background transparency to 1. The LBL bit lets us know that it's a label. Now we have created the block, added a SurfaceGUI and label it to it. Finally, we create a script in the script service folder. This stops any hackers from exploiting our scripts. We need to add some code to our script to count the seconds and minutes. When we write the script, we will use some variables. Variables are places where we can store bits of information, such as the amount of minutes and seconds that have passed. In this script, we will use integers and script and string variables. An integer is a number and a string is some text. First, we will create a variable called LBL clock. This will point the script to the text label that we added to our block so we can update it. Roblox uses dot notation, and you can see that the location of our label relates to the folder structure in the Explorer window. Workspace clock, SurfaceGUI, and then LBL clock. To test this, I will now assign the label's text property to Jack. There we go. You can see that the text has changed from time to Jack. Notice that Jack is in speech marks. This tells Roblox that we're using a string variable to represent the text Jack. In order to make this do something useful, we need to create two variables called int minutes and int seconds. One will store the amount of minutes and the other will store the amount of seconds. I have written int in front of them so I know that they are integer values. Next, I will get the start time by using the built-in function os.time. This will return the time in Unix time. If you don't know what this is, then Google it. I don't have time to go into all of that. Scripts run once, so next I will create a function and then a loop that will run forever by using a loop. I will force the code to run until the game is stopped. If I did not use a loop, then the script will run once, then stop. This is the function where our update code will go, and this is the loop that will call your function running forever. Now I will create a local variable called str minutes. I will explain this later. Then I will set int seconds to the current time and minus int seconds from start time. This will give us the amount of seconds that has elapsed since the game started. We will use the wait command to make the loop wait for 1 second, otherwise the loop will run really fast using up resources. This way it will run once every second. We don't need to update the clock more than this. And now I will update the label to reflect the amount of seconds that have passed. As you can see, we are now counting up in seconds. However, it doesn't look like a clock, and when it gets to 60, it will continue the count. We want to count the minutes and reset the seconds when 60 seconds have passed. To do this, we will add an if statement to reset the seconds variable and increment the minutes variable when we count 59 seconds. We will then display the minutes and seconds on the text label. To concat strings, use the dot symbol shown. Our code is giving us an error. This error has occurred because we tried to use Boolean operator on a string. Although we thought that the minutes variable was an integer, Roblox Studio changed it to a string, so we need to fix that by using the str minutes variable and a technique called casting. That's fixed and it's working correctly now. This looks more like a clock, but we still need to tidy it up a bit. Here we will add a 0 in front of the numbers. If the numbers are less than 10, we will do this for both the minutes and seconds. To do this, we will add some if statements. This all looks fine, but the minutes will increment when the seconds are at 59 instead of 0. To fix this, I will add an else if clause to this if statement and move the minute increment code into the else if clause. So every time the seconds get to 59, I will reset them, and every time the seconds are reset to 0, the minutes variable will be incremented by 1. Let's watch our code to see if it works. When we get to 10 minutes, the clock does something funky. We don't want that, so we will add an if statement here to assign a value to the minute string. When the minutes are greater than 10, I hope you enjoyed this video, and now you can create blocks with text labels on and then create a script to change the text in the text label using loops, if statements and functions.